Well, welcome everybody to our Speaking with Kate live on Facebook. And we are here because of the December new moon, which is tomorrow. This is actually November 30th. But I wanted to get here prior so that we could do some good work. And I am just waiting on Mickey to pop in. So if anybody has anything that they'd like to start with, anything that they'd like to say, um, I think I think, oh, and speaking, there's Maddie. Um, let's see, Mickey is trying to send me a notification. Woohoo. All right, she's having a little trouble getting Zoom to load. Not a problem. Um, we can just wait a moment for her to catch up. Um, Monday, we went into Mercury retrograde, so we always have a little bit of communication issues going on. And weird as it may sound, I've been having some work done at the house, and 5 minutes ago, I had to run outside and assist one of the fellas that's out there. And so my glasses are darkened. I just got new ones and they're transitioned, so they look like sunglasses I have on. They'll lighten up soon. And but nice, rosy cheeks. It's cold out there. It's like 26 degrees maybe. It's really cold outside. And I think Mickey's coming in. So let's see, admit Mickey. So anybody from Facebook that is on, please do leave us some comments so we know who's there. I can see that there's people on, but I can't see who you are. So leave comments for us. I hope everybody had a lovely Thanksgiving. I did. I shared it with my daughter's family and her in-laws. And there is Mickey. Hi, Mickey.
Hello.
We are live.
Some of us are.
We are live. We're recording. I explained to everybody that we're in Mercury retrograde and we're going to be
Yes,
until
it
like
is
15.
kicking my booty.
Yeah, mine too.
Uh,
I just was telling them I was outside because my one guy was here doing some more work and I had to run outside. So my hair is all, and my glasses are dark.
oh, honey, let me tell you. I'm
Now,
doing,
Mickey, do you
uh,
have your front round light on? Because you're very much in shadow right now.
okay. All right.
And
No, I
the
have
further
that.
back you sit,
It's not that. It's the night light.
there you go. There you
Oh,
are.
oh,
Okay.
how's that? No, it's where I'm sitting. Okay.
Right. The
I can't
closer
sit
you get,
back.
I can see you. But if you go back, then really I just see a shadow.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. So,
Okay.
so how are you doing besides
Don't
getting
ask.
your booty
Moving on.
kicked?
I'm harried.
I
I'm
hear,
okay.
I hear you.
I'm okay, and you'll hear more about how I am when I tell you my stuff. But it's a challenging time. I have a real cute message today, but
All right. Well, I came up with a different kind of a journey, so I think we're just going to have a wonderful time today.
oh, good. Let me turn the
Yeah.
TV off. Oh God, I
Yep,
didn't
mine's off
realize
too.
that we had competition.
I'm partially decorated, not all. So I have boxes around the house.
Oh, honey, this is one for the books here.
So it's just time. Just everybody should just inhale and let it go. And
I'm
just
moving
settle
this,
into this.
working this light.
Right, this time is just for us, right? We've got
It
however
is.
much time, an hour, 2 hours, whatever.
Well, all I can say is that the theme we've been running for the last few weeks, maybe a couple of months, about grit your teeth and gear up for change. Is here.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. This is a strange time. And when we get into the serious stuff, then let me know and I'll pull up my little document I made so I can
Well,
remind myself of what I'm saying.
you can get into the serious stuff right away.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You
I
would say
mean, unless we
that.
want to do some chit-chatting beforehand. Nobody has left any comments yet, so we got no comments.
Okay. Well,
So everybody's feeling the same kind of go within type of
oh
space.
yeah.
And you know
Oh
what?
yeah.
3 hours, 2.5 hours west of where I live, had a
Yeah.
blizzard yesterday.
Ooh,
They have what I can see from pictures people put up, there is 3 feet of snow.
I've heard so many of my friends saying this.
Well, it's a
Everybody's
Lilydale.
shocked.
Yes. So I guess the Lilydale, maybe Buffalo area, Rochester area, we got flurries, but nothing on the ground at all.
Yeah, a lot of people, even over here, a lot of folks are talking about, what's going on, and they woke up to a blanket of snow out and so forth and so on. So,
Yeah.
hey,
Pretty
it's
as it is, I can do without.
and it's beautiful, but it is
Right.
what it is. So,
Thanksgiving
no,
morning, we woke up to about 2 inches of snow. It is all melted now, and so that's good. I had my snow for the year. I'm good.
wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Now,
what is it?
I
Last week we had snow. That was
yeah,
enough for me.
exactly. And I looked at our weather as opposed to your weather,
Hmm.
and for the next 10 days, our high is lower than your low.
Oh,
So, yeah, we're
good
gonna be
heavens.
we're not gonna get above freezing very much at all in the next 10 days. So we are in, and this is, we've been very fortunate and it's been very seasonably warm. And now we're getting a taste of winter.
Mm, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it's going, we're in it now for sure. This
Yeah.
is it. We're in the middle of winter. And if you take a deep breath and even take a nap, you'll wake up and it's already Christmas and New Year's. I mean, this is barreling forward. It's barreling forward.
It,
Now,
it, it is. Yes, I can feel it. Even the children can feel it,
yeah, I
which
think everyone does because
yeah.
it's erratic on so many different levels that everyone's feeling it in their particular world. So, um, what I had was told to, how do I begin? I was doing meditations for myself, and I was re-examining some stuff I was going through. I was doing some shadow work, as you put it, and I was feeling discombobulated. And as I started to examine that, in meditation and say, well, gee, what's going on here? And like Bashar says, what is it about this that's not serving you? I love that phrase. But as I looked at it and really seriously started to pick it apart, um, I realized I was really, like the first words I wrote on the screen, I am feeling fragile. I put that in all caps, bold print, red. you know, I'm feeling fragile. And that was the gist of what was going on. And I thought, okay, well, what's going on here? What am I feeling fragile about? Why am I had literally pulled back so far back. I receded out of my own world. And I'm already a loner. So, I was sitting in the closet and the door was closed. So um
That is kind of funny to me.
you look through the little slats in the door and other people in the room don't even know you're in there and you're watching everything.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was removed. Okay. Um and so as I realized that's what I was doing, I was looking out from this uh recessed space. And I said, I'm in a bubble. I'm in this separate little space inside my own space here in the house, and I'm in a bubble. And I thought, yeah, we all are. We each are in our own bubble. Now, I buried mine You know, you can't be much more closed off than being in a bubble, but I managed to see my little bubble and take it somewhere and hide it. I was feeling fragile inside my secluded environment. And I said, okay, wait a minute. This is not just for me. We are all in our own respective bubbles. Now, because everything's so dramatic right now, and because of all the change and everything, your particular bubble may be a little different than you're used to it being, but we're aware that we're looking out, especially because we're Sethis. We know that we're looking out from the soul, out at all the other us, all the other nows, the idea that we're trying to embrace is understanding that as a soul entity, we have hundreds and hundreds of other little versions of us that we've sent out. And I think you said something to me recently about a way of looking at that as something that had things dangling down from it or
Oh,
whatever.
like a jellyfish.
Thank you. I
So it's
couldn't
like
think of
our
it.
our oversoul is the jellyfish, and all the little tentacles are the probable selves, past lives, future selves. So those are
That's
all.
it. That's
Yes.
it. Boy, I'm pale today. I didn't finish makeup and stuff. I look like a sheet. Welcome to
You
your
look
world.
you look beautiful.
I have to give up my NAACP card today. Oh, but anyway, I really related to what you were saying. Someone, I think it was Bashar, had offered a similar view and had even drawn it. But then when I was telling you about it, what you said made a lot more sense. I could really relate to the jellyfish and all the legs dangling down, billions of them. And they reached into other times,
Mm-hmm.
other dimensions, other galaxies, and other Earths. Okay, that's a lot to take in, but God's infinite. He can design as many different ways for us to be us as He pleases,
Right. And God would, of course, being God, choose to do it all at one time, not
all
a
at one
little
time.
bit at a time. He just, here it is.
Well, like we were saying the other night when we were talking, God doesn't know how to be anything but all that is.
That's right.
So it is all that it's capable of being all the time.
Yeah.
So this isn't like when we design something, we get it tested and market tested and this and that, and we get the commercials and before we put it out there, God said, boom,
Hmm.
me, this is what I want, bam, and it is,
Hmm.
you know.
And
So,
here we are.
and here we are, okay. So my thing about the bubble was looking out from the soul space, looking down on this particular me and saying, okay, but how do you want to design your bubble? Okay. What I've come here with is the script I wrote originally before I came, and then whatever little tweaks and balances I've done over the course of the lifetime so far, especially since I'm toward the latter part of the lifetime. I've done a lot of editing. Okay. But this is still a script that follows a particular design that I set up in the beginning. All the drama and stuff was inserted to make it interesting and to give me more experience to report back. Okay. So when we look out from inside our bubble, we are seeing the world outside of us, but we're looking from in here out at that and knowing, especially us, knowing that that's what we're doing. We know that this is the one we created. So you've got this us and them kind of thing happening, but not in a bad way. It's just that we know that we're in here looking out at that and saying, oh, let me move this. Oh, wait a minute, let me sew that up. Wait a minute. And we do edits. Well, to me, the whole of the Seth message is about you get to do the edits. You not only created it, but you can edit it. You know, um, I control my bubble. I can't blame the shape and color of it on anybody else but me. I've accepted that I did this. Now, earlier in life, when I had multiple miscarriages and I was distraught about that and a whole lot of other things, you couldn't have told me that I created that because I would have balked at the thought. Well, I certainly didn't make me lose all these babies, and I certainly didn't give myself husband after husband, and who was uh, uh, a player, as they say. I wouldn't have written that stuff in, but I did, and I had a reason, and I had to trust myself and recognize that, yeah, I wrote this because I learned a hell of a lot from it.
Hmm.
And I did get a reward in the end. The last one was the prince. I did. I had to hold on and do all the dishes and take all the abuse from the ugly sisters. And finally, I got to the dance and I met the prince. So that's okay. It made it all right. Now, others may have written it different. It may be that you wrote it where you didn't meet the prince, or you met him and he had issues, or whatever, or you had issues with his issues. But the thing is that this is all about the whole of the set thing is about you created every bit of this. Okay, so I can't blame the color and shape of my bubble on anybody else but me. Okay, there is an overall script, and it's an outline of the general roles and the drama of this particular time that you're in, this now. And there are the infinite rights to edit. Just don't ever forget that. And you can edit up to and during the performance, right up to the closing act. You're still editing, you know? Even when you step out of this, you're following the script you wrote. You decided when to go and how to go and blah, blah, blah. And folks, I keep editing mine. I can't decide how I want to go.
And we all do.
I keep changing my mind. Well, maybe
But
this would be better. Well, maybe, no, I don't want to do that.
with every choice that we make, we're changing it.
Yes, we're directors and editors and stars in our own right, and you know. So right now, I got stuck, and I was stuck in a bubble that's okay, and it follows my general main script, but it has a part I want to change. you know, I'm getting slapped by that realization right now, constantly, all day, all night, whatever. Terrible insomnia. But I'm constantly trying to work through the fragility that I'm feeling right now. Okay. And some of it, a whole bunch of it, is stuff I thought I had already handled. Surprise. Okay.
Hmm.
So the very raggedy edges of my bubble have alerted me that you better fix this and this and this and this over here. Don't forget that spot over there. It's coming loose real fast over there. So that's what this is about for me. I'm in edit mode. Now, why am I not saying this at the new moon? Okay.
This is the
None of
new moon.
well, I'm saying that it's full moon. See, that's how I am.
It's
But
Mercury retrograde. Yeah.
yeah, Mercury retrograde is kicking my booty. But the thing is that when the planets are doing their major thing, and this is the major stuff, the moon's either like this or it's like that, or it's like this or it's like that. Those are the openings through which we throw out our program as hard as we can to start all the new stuff. We're setting the script that we've newly edited. Okay. And so that's what we're trying to do. Now we're going to be racing and running like hell to get to the middle part, the full part, where we're hoping to get some of this back. We're hoping that the stuff we put out there is really going to work and at least some of it will come back. Um, but although I have a part I want to change, I am not doing the work to get that to happen, though. I don't know how I dared to say that and have it recorded, but yes, I did say that. I admit it. I know all about it and I'm not doing it. Okay. That was the other realization after I realized that, okay, I'm feeling fragile. Okay, I can do edits. And okay, I'm not doing it. So, what I decided to do was to make it all right, to cut it into the tiniest little damn pieces you ever saw. And I am doing one very tiny little piece at a time. And I had to be confident that I will make the needed changes when I feel more ready to put in the work. But the work looked so big to me and so out of reach that in order to still keep working on it and not give up on that idea, I said, I've got to chew this a lot. I've got to take very small pieces, eat it very slowly, chew it fully before I swallow any of this because I'm having trouble even taking a bite. I don't like the smell of it. I don't like the look of it. I could clean up the plate better. I'm just not doing it. So we make it as tiny a little bit as we can. And I'm quite literally doing a very little tiny part at a time and with lots of spaces in between. you know, those little bits are not right together.
Mhm.
No, I work on this part now. I might not do another part till a week from now. But I did do it. I did think about it in between and so forth. So I have to be more ready to do the work and just trying to handle the littlest bit at a time. Okay. And then hopefully I will have more of a cause for celebration. you know, the good thing is that my trifling approach allows me to see, isolate, and adjust my bubble. Okay. So at that point, I throw it out there and say, and how are you using and editing and enjoying your bubble? Okay, I lay that out there. What do you think? Okay, I needed to do this work now, but I'm forcing myself to stay positive while I adjust my demands or my intentions and so forth. So, how's that working for you?
Well, it rings so true to me. So I've
Does
gone,
it?
it does. It does. I have been doing the same kind of work. I don't feel as fragile now as I did. And it's so interesting that the people that are around me so much, we aren't all fragile at the same time. So we are
Yes,
so
yes.
so so some of us are fragile at one point and then we lean on the support of the others because they're in a better space. So right now, I'm in a space of strength and I feel
Oh,
very
yes.
good about things. As a matter of fact, my one good friend says to me, I don't know how you can be so positive when everything is so negative.
I said that to you recently too. I'm
And
relying on your strength.
Uh, and I just, and I have taught this for years that there always is a way to turn a negative around and to think of it or say it in a positive way, especially saying it in a positive way because our words are so powerful and meaningful. And when we say it out loud, it really becomes so.
Mm.
So I tend to do that. Sometimes people that I'm around are just very aggravated with me because they're like, but I see it this way and this is the way life really is. And my ex-husband used to tell me that I was an ostrich and I had my head in the sand
Oh,
because I would try to look, no matter how negative something was, to see the positive light in it. And, you
yeah.
know, I think everybody that's on here can say that some of the most negative, most difficult times in our life ended up being some of the best times in our life.
Good
They
point.
ended up being wonderful teaching moments. They ended up being moments of great growth,
Yeah.
personally, spiritually, financially, just in every shape of, if we're in a place of contentment, things tend to stay there. There is not a lot of growth period there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I've been going through a lot of turmoil and upheaval.
Mm.
And right now, I am in that contentment place. So I figure my place is a place of support and a place to give my support to those that need it. And in whatever way. So I actually, what I have in mind today for our journey really is to, relax you like we always do, relax the body, get you down into your meditation space and just get on that healing table. And
Mm.
and then you don't have to do anything after that. I'm going to take over.
Oh, good. I love
We're,
that.
we're going to do a healing session. I don't know that I've ever done one on here. You know, we've
Oh,
done sessions where we've healed ourselves or we've asked our higher self to heal, but I'm going to ask you to allow me to do some healing for you.
that sounds really wonderful.
Yeah.
It really does. That's reassuring. It's just reassuring. It's just what I needed to hear.
Well, there you go. And I usually don't plan like in way in
Yeah,
advance to do whatever it comes to me during the morning, when
right.
I'm either doing my writing or pulling cards. And this morning it was like, oh, you have to do Reiki session,
Mm.
whatever you want to call it. It'll be distant healing, and I'm going to run it just like I would do a regular session if you were with me. So,
That's what I was going to ask you when we were talking privately. I was going to say, in fact, I started to say it 2 nights ago and again last night, and I kept saying, well, I'll tell her soon. But I wanted us to get back and do another Reiki. You know, I needed
well,
a fresh adjustment and all of that.
well,
So,
Miss Mickey, you'd be surprised at how much Reiki you get.
oh, I'm aware. Believe me,
Here,
I feel
here
it.
and there. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
feel
Now,
it.
I did want to say to people too that the dog is in the room. She is like right here underneath she's under the table, right in front of me. And it's so cold out. She's a little stinker. She's got a sweater on, but she does not like the cold. So usually I take her for a nice long walk and get her tired out. She has not done that today. So if she barks, it's just life.
Well, I feel the same, Meg. I cannot stand the
Well, she's
cold.
sleeping right now, so she's already getting ready for the meditation.
That's very good.
It is. And so we know that we're in Mercury retrograde. Now there's another planet that's going to go retrograde soon. I'm not sure which one it is.
I didn't look.
You didn't
I
look.
have it
Okay.
right here in front of me. Just a minute.
All right. Yeah,
See.
something is going to go retrograde really
Because
soon.
because
Jupiter?
the Mercury retrograde is right next to this new moon. You know, you've got the three of them right there together in one spot, and
Hmm.
it's going backwards. They're moving forward together, but it's coming backwards. So it's going to back into them, so to speak. You
Hmm.
know, they're going to overrun it. It's coming the opposite direction. So with all of we have a super amount of energy coming at Pluto and the sun because there's a square happening, and you know, a square is always conflict and drama and crap going on. So to have miscommunication thrown into the mix,
Hmm.
this is going to be a hold on to your hat kind of new moon. You know,
Hmm.
um, I was going to get into some more of the astrological part of that at another point, but now let's see. You asked me about what?
There is another planet that's going to go
Oh yeah.
retrograde really soon. And
Okay.
I want to say it's Jupiter.
Yeah, well, Jupiter is already retrograde.
It is. Oh, okay.
Yes. And so is Uranus, that makes things very strange.
Oh,
and it's in a direct.
So we've got three retrogrades right now.
Oh, we have five.
We have five.
Seven. We have six.
Six.
Six retrogrades right now. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yes, ma'am. And we have a seventh retrograde, but that's not a planet. That's the node. So
Okay.
that's the relationship between planets, and it's going backwards. So, this is the rubber meets the road right here. It's about we have our little intentions, but out of 10 planets, six of them are trying to hit smack us in the mouth
Hmm.
and say, I know what you expected from me, and I know what your chart says, but right now I'm dancing backwards.
Hmm.
Thanks a lot. There are a lot of oppositions. There are oppositions mean, like I said before, you got two things pulling at opposites. You
Hmm.
can have what this one says, and you can have what that one says, but you don't get both. So you have to make the decision about the options you want to embrace, you
Hmm.
know? So now we're enjoying the fact that the new moon is the ego and the feelings are all together.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but your mind is playing tricks on you, and the other five planets are trying to smack you. So it's the time of celebration, and intentions are great to put out there now, but you've got a lot of folks saying, I wouldn't have said that if I were you. You shouldn't do that because it's just not right. I mean, each of them going backwards has their own opinion about why you're messing up.
Hmm.
You see? So it's a very emotionally intense time right now.
Hmm.
Um, let's see here.
So
We've
it,
got,
it it almost feels like this is a time that the intentions should be for peace, tranquility,
yes,
for calmness.
that's not hard exactly because we are feeling self motivated. We're feeling very integrated person, me, and I'm unaffected by others, and I'm I'm doing all this stuff that's wonderful. But and you have your all this energy coming in is in a good way because it's a trine. Trine makes things easy. So the ego, the I'm me and everything is feeling good, but you have a square. The sun, your ego has a square from Saturn, which means that it's rearing its head saying, yeah, but you got to be disciplined. Yeah, but you got to deal with all the stuff you're lacking. Yeah, but Saturn is all about the act like the father, act like the one who's the authoritarian telling you do this and do
Mhm.
this and do. So it's trying to throw a monkey wrench in
Mhm.
things by making you very, very discipline, all that stuff that kids don't like. They say, "Oh, don't make me go to bed yet." Yes, but you can't have water this close to going to bed, and you can't do this and you can't do that. That's what it's about.
Mhm.
So it's easy for me to feel fragile. I have the ego feeling upheld because the emotions of the moon and the intense ego of the sun, they're together for once. They're saying the same thing. Every 2 weeks, they're kind of like, hey, you and me, bro. But they're up against, there's a gang chasing them.
That's a good way of looking at it.
So you feel
And they're
oriented,
running
motivated.
like heck.
Yeah, they're all motivated, but they're running like heck. So now, on top of all that, since we didn't have enough yet, on top of all that, this same sun that's all cozy with our feelings and everything, and we're motivated and stuff, it's also having some stuff thrown in the game by whatever you do for a living, whatever is in your midheaven and the things you're most known for. It's getting tense right now to keep up the facade you like to project. The way the world sees you is at the top, but that top spot of where you have to be the best of who you are, it's under a lot of conflict and drama too. So you have to be careful what you say to whom, because when you go into work, you could get surprises.
Mhm.
There could be a lot of drama and a lot of conflict, and it's going to come out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So,
Yes.
um,
I pulled an astrology card that said just that. Be wary about your place, your station of honor, and
yes,
that there is some turbulence going to happen and just be on your toes.
That's it.
So
That's your place.
it's a
Yeah, that's it.
warning. It wasn't and it was a subtle one. It was a subtle
Yeah,
one. It was reversed, so it wasn't super strong. But I've been watching and yeah, quiet.
yeah. It's like a magician is doing his little act. There's an overall kind of view of stuff that comes up with these transits and squares and stuff. And right now, that particular spot is this. They're called the Sabian symbols, by the way. And this one is for the 10th degree of Sag, and it's all about a magician in a vaudeville review begins his act with a bit of funny stage patter, and then he levitates his female assistant with the aid of not so visible wire. So everybody thinks they're doing magic, but they're actually using aids, help.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let that be a lesson to you as we navigate what's going on right now. You've got to create the same magic act you did with real magic, but right now, when you're not feeling it, you still have to put out your well-rehearsed design of what you're going to say to the audience, and from your bubble, you're going to project what, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you still got
And
to do it, even when it's not happening to you naturally, when you don't feel
mhm,
so assured about being who you are and getting it to act right. You may have to do a little sleight of hand.
mhm. And know that you have those aids. They're
That's the
yours
editing.
to use.
That's the thing. You've got the right, and only you. There is no one else in the whole universe that can edit your play but you.
Yes. Right. Right.
So that's why we have to get on it.
That's right. No one can or does do anything to you.
Right. They do it for you. So it's with your agreement that you can come in at this point. Here's your cue. Okay, here's where you walk on and throw out whatever your script says, but it's only a walk on, and I said you could do it.
Yeah.
Now get off the stage. I'll take over from here.
I love it. I love it.
So
Whew.
this is one of those times when you want to take a deep breath
Mhm.
and say, okay, I understand what's happening. I may not be able to totally change it, but I can get in there and do a little editing and a little tweaking. And the tweaking, by the way, when I'm saying this and about editing and stuff, what I'm saying is you change you. You change how you are looking at it. That's all you can change.
And how you react to things.
Yeah, that's all you can change. Your edits are only the stuff that's within your field of reference and your expertise. It's all about what you can do. And since you're the only one who wrote this, you're the only one who can change it, and that's all you can do. Okay? No one else can, but you can't do that to anyone else's bubble either. Ha ha. Get that down your throat. Which means when you're bitching and moaning to
Yes.
somebody else, you should have done so and so, and that judgment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is where you have to cut it out, like you have to exorcise it like a tumor.
Yep. Yep.
Because judgment means you are tending to somebody else's business.
Right. Right. And how many of us on here really are fixers, right?
Hello.
I can help you with that. I can fix this. I can do blah, blah, blah. Oh, but that's judging that what they're doing isn't good enough or right, and that you have some power over their bubble, and you don't.
You don't.
No.
And you don't have a right to change it, and you don't have a right to say, oh, it ought to be, it oughta, you should, you would.
Right. You don't have a
It's
right to
not
judge
your
anyone else.
business. In fact, you've got so much business of your own. What are you doing looking over there?
It's a
I'm
diversion.
doing a review. you know, who asked you? Remember the so what?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
and she
do.
did so and so and so. So what?
Right.
Okay? And it's a circle. This whole thing about what we do, why we're doing it, and how to do it better brings you right back to so what?
It's so funny. We tend to we do circle back all
Yes.
the time. I hope people aren't sick of listening to us.
No, but that's what resonance is.
Yeah.
A waveform going across the screen is the same thing over and over and over. It goes only so high, it goes only so low, it goes only so high, it goes only so low. It's when the frequency changes slightly that we are reacting and saying, oh, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Right.
Our resonance has somehow either gotten better or worse, and we have to make note of it, and that's where we do the edits. Okay? But it's okay for it to come the same thing over and over because it's a cycle.
Right. It's the way things are.
It's the way it is.
Yeah.
Everything in the whole universe is vibrating in a cycle. And we're trying to hit the middle. And it has the highs and the lows, but we're trying to maintain our equilibrium right through the center.
Be glad that the universe isn't digital and it is more,
Oh,
it's more based on frequency, or we'd be like on, off, on, off.
hey, that great algorithm in the sky. Oh, no, 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 no.
No. And that everything is going to be fine.
It is going to be fine, even when it's not,
Yeah.
because
Well,
that's all it can be. If it was created by all that is, there's nothing that could possibly be wrong with it. So therefore, if you think that there's some crap going on, it's your opinion and your view out of your bubble that gets adjusted. Make sense?
does.
That's the whole of it, is that it doesn't have any choice but
Hmm.
to be great and to be good, because we're illustrating something that can only be good. It's the very definition of good. So our route may be circuitous, but when we're in the bottom of the cycle that's weaving through, when you hit that part down there, of course your view says, ooh, this isn't good. No, but you haven't gotten to the part where it's about to rise higher than it's ever been.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay? So don't mistake your position on the cycle that's going. Okay? And that's circuitous thing of the torus of life, and it's coming up through the middle, going across the top, coming back up the bottom, you know.
Yep.
But when you're down there in the bottom, you're like, oh God, when will I come out of this? But then you rise to the top again
Hmm.
because that's all that's possible. We're eternal. We keep doing the same things over and over that illustrate what our source is. And our source is the baddest thing in existence. You can't get better than that.
Yeah.
That's why it's called all that is. It's not what sometimes is or wants to be, it's all that there is. So it has to resolve itself back to its own identity. It's like I said to you before, God doesn't know how to be anything else but God. So everything you see happening is a manifestation of how it's excellent and the best at whatever it can be. It's the only option. We just have to get to the good part. As we see it, we're defining the good part. We have a lot of nerve. But anyway,
Well,
that's why we're
everybody,
doing this.
everybody has an opinion, but so what?
So what? And when I think I heard recently when Bashar said that when you get to where it really seems like you're down in the dumps, you're at the bottom and this and that is happening, after the so what, then you get to the, when you don't know what else to do, how to react, just take a moment and go, that's interesting. But you don't come down on either side of the judgment scale. Just, oh,
Yes.
that's interesting. Now, I may find out more later about
Mhm.
why it was necessary. Why did I write that in?
Mhm.
Whatever.
Right.
But at the moment, you just look at it and go, oh, that's really interesting. And
Mhm.
you move from there. You know?
We have some interesting times ahead of us.
Yes, baby.
We do.
Yeah,
And
yeah, we
you know
do.
what? You just react to it in the best possible way. And if that means to be fragile and stay home, then that's what you do. If it means going out and I don't know, working, then that's what you do. You know, whatever is right for you is always right.
It's always right.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Eventually.
yes. All right. You think we're ready to try this little journey?
Absolutely.
All right, we're not going to journey very far, you know. So it's definitely going to be more of a meditation, but a little bit of journeying. But I'd like for everybody to just, you know, relax yourself, get in a good place where you can relax. If you're in a place where you can lay down, oh, Mickey is so ready. Look at her. She's muted herself and she's laying down. So, yeah, definitely you want to have your head supported, your neck supported, and I am going to share my screen and I will be joining you in just a minute. Ready now. So I want us all to come together with our breath. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And again, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. Now, I would like for us to just go into some relaxation. So, as I say different parts of your body, just focus on that piece of your body and then relax whatever tension is being held there. We're going to start at the top of our head, work all the way down to our feet. So, starting with your scalp, just tense it and relax. And your forehead, your eyebrows, your eyes, just let them relax. Your cheeks, your lips, part your teeth slightly, allowing your jaw to relax. And your throat. And your shoulders. Just let your shoulders droop down. If you find that they're up near your ears, just let them relax and slide down. Let your shoulder blades just slide down your back like butter. And your chest. You can feel your chest rising and falling. And know with every rise of your chest, you are breathing in beautiful white light from inside your bubble. And with each exhale, your chest falls and you release any tensions, any energies that you are holding on to that you don't need anymore. Just release them into this bubble and they just go down to the earth. And now relax your tummy muscles and start feeling your breath go into your belly. Feel the rise of your belly with your in-breath, and your belly falls with your out-breath. And now relax your spine and your buttocks, your hips, and your thighs. Relax your knees and your calves. Relax your ankles. And a little out of order, relax those arms. You can even shake them out a little bit, all the way down to your fingertips. And now relax your feet. Beautiful. We are now in a much more relaxed state of mind, using more of our mind than ever before. Now I would like for you to use imagery in your mind. And I want you to visualize a staircase. And we are going to go down the staircase step by step. And there's 10 steps as we go down into our heart space, into our meditation room. Ready? 10, 9, 8. Going deeper and deeper within. 7, 6. Deeper still. 5, 4. Deeper and deeper. 3, 2. Deeper and deeper. And 1. We are now in our meditation room. This room is so comfy and warm and familiar to you. You have decorated it. You know every inch of it. Now I would like you to go into your lab where your healing table is. And this is where we're going to work today. So I would like for you to go in to lay on your healing table and get as comfortable as you can. If that means a pillow under your head, a pillow under your knees, a blanket over top of you, just take a moment and get yourself situated on that table. I'll be right here. Good. Now, I'm going to ask that we do the 3 to 1 count to go even deeper still, knowing with each count that we are getting better and better every day. So let's start with 3. Ready? 3, 3, 3. And now 2, 2, 2, 2. And now 1, 1, 1, 1. And now you are in such a relaxed, such a deep state of mind. And we are going to start a beautiful healing session. Ready? Again, we're going to take it in deep breath. And another deep breath. Beautiful. Now I would like for you to feel my hands warm and feel the heaviness and the weight of my hands on your shoulders as I'm sitting right behind you. I have wrapped both of us in a beautiful bubble of light. This bubble of light is always with you. It is the bubble Mickey talked about, and it is full of the white light, God's eternal white light. This is your protection. This is all the love in the universe for you. Now I would like to ask the angels, spirits, guides, beings of light, ascended masters, teachers, to be with us today, guiding this session, guiding my hands, making sure that each one of us gets exactly what we need for our highest and greatest good. And I ask everyone's oversoul to be there, making sure that you use the energy just the way your higher self intends. Beautiful. Now I'm going to start at the top of your head, just like we did when we were relaxing our body. As my hands will gently move around your body, starting at the top of your head and ending at the soles of your feet. Now I'm going to be very silent as I do this session. You can work along with me, but you don't have to. You just have to lay and feel and accept the love of the universe. And so it is. Now, as I have my hands at the soles of your feet, I would like for you to visualize the beautiful white light that is coming in my crown down to my heart space, filling my heart, coming out down my arms and out my hands into the soles of your feet. And this white light is filling your feet, your toes, going up your ankles, your calves and shins, your knees, your thighs, until it reaches your root chakra. And at that point, this beautiful white light turns beautiful bright red. And you can see the red swirl in a clockwise fashion at your root chakra. And it looks like a tornado. Brilliant red swirling light. And again, more white light is just filling your body cavity, going up your spine until it reaches your sacral chakra. And all of a sudden, this beautiful white light turns into a beautiful, warm, orange, glowing tornado. Beautiful. As it works its way up your spine and fills up your belly area, it reaches your solar plexus, and it's a beautiful, bright yellow, just like the sun. Filling a little bit more until it reaches your heart chakra, at which time this beautiful white light turns into an emerald green tornado of energy. And then a little further still until it reaches your throat chakra in a beautiful sky blue color. All of these chakras are moving in a clockwise fashion. Further up the spine into the third eye, and it turns into this deep indigo blue color. And the very top of your head, your crown chakra, it is back to the white violet light. Now this energy is still pouring in from the universe, filling up all of the little hiding places in your body until there is just no more room for any more energy. And at this point, you can visualize the energy just even seeping out through your pores until you have this beautiful white glow around you. And then you have the rainbow chakras of little tornadoes all the way from your root to your crown. And when there is just no more room to hold any more energy, feel that I press the soles of your feet 3 times very lightly. And that signifies the end of our session. Now, I'm going to smooth your aura from your crown all the way down to the soles of your feet 3 times. And now as I stand at your feet, I am going to wrap you in a golden cocoon and fill it with all the love and Reiki that it needs. Now, before I close this bubble, this beautiful golden cocoon, I am filling it with the white light that you can call on anytime you want. Just remember how you feel right now, this calm, this peace, this love. You are wrapped in love. Just breathe in that love and exhale whatever doesn't feel good to you. And know that you can call on this at any time you need. This will stay with you. And this is for you to use when you need support, when you are feeling fragile. Remember that we are all here together. Now I am closing your cocoon. And I thank you for always joining with me. I thank you for being with me and Mickey. I thank the angels, spirits, guides, beings of light, ascended masters and teachers, and mostly all that is, for being here with me, guiding me through this session. And also, I thank all that is for allowing me to use this beautiful energy and the system that we call Reiki. I am ending this session now, and I want you to just take a deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. And you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe stretch a little bit. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. But I just want you to sit up very, very slowly on this meditation bed, this healing bed that you're on. Dangle your feet over the edge of this bed. Don't try to get up yet. Now, in our lab, we always have everything we need close by. So just reach out to either your right or your left and grab a bottle of water that is waiting for you. And have a little drink of water. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of time to process what you just experienced. And I'm going to be silent now for, I don't know, about 5 minutes or so. I will see you in a few minutes. I hope you've all had time to process what just happened. And this was my little gift I received from the universe and I shared with all of you. And I wish you all happy holidays. And now it is time for us to come back up into our meditation room and up our stairs. And you can walk up them slowly, or you can run up them because you have so much energy now. Whatever you feel right is exactly right for you. And I'm going to say, in the count of three, that you are going to open your eyes, be wide awake, feeling like you've had a wonderful long nap, and you're going to join me back on our live on Facebook. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Eyes wide open, wide awake, feeling wonderful all over. Oh, well, that was something, that's for sure. Um, I love doing healing for people. Um, it is a gift that we can all do and we can all learn, and we all have it within us to do this. And feel free to go back to this meditation anytime you want, as many times as you want. Mickey's back,
Sort of.
sort of. Ah. Well, we have a very quiet group with us today. I have not one comment. That's okay. How are you feeling? It takes a little bit of time to open up to become aware when it was so deep. I threw a little bit of emotional energy into that too, not just, yeah, little power,
Oh,
little.
you threw a lot of stuff in there. It's all
It,
kinds of things.
well, I did some chakra clearing for everybody, and I don't know that I've ever really done for an entire group before, and it was odd because um, I I was definitely guided to do a chakra clearing, which seemed to work okay.
You do
And
it more than once.
well, yeah, I did because I did it from the top of your head and your feet.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. I did. An interesting spot that I was at, though, I was seeing, so I call it the grief center, and I was seeing
Okay.
pebbles, like rounded pebbles.
Yes.
And then every now and then I'd see a little pointy one, a little pointy spiky one. And usually when someone comes to me and they've just had a loved one pass, it looks like you're walking over quartz crystals, like pointy everywhere. Once they start seeing that they're getting rounded, it means that, they are, the grief is slowly subsiding, that it is aging, it is softening. Not that it's gone away, but it's softening. Yet there was still some spiky things. So because I was doing so many at one time, I don't know if I was seeing, I think I was seeing like someone's was softening, another one's was still very raw. And, so it was hard for me to tell any one person, like it was a conglomeration of a lot. So I really saw and felt every every bit from raw grief to very soft grief. Wow.
Wow.
Hmm.
It's it's a very interesting experience, that particular healing sensation, session, or whatever. And I felt an enormous number of different things. It's hard to even remember them all because the journey was so intense and varied. It went through so many different stages. And I became aware, I kept saying, oh, I'm going to remember this, I'm going to remember this. And right.
And it may pop up at times.
Yes, I expect it will replay itself.
Yep.
One of the things in the beginning, after we were on the table, and after a little while of adjustment and whatnot, I became aware that I kept feeling this, I don't know what to call it, pressure, palpitation, touching and stuff, whatever. But there was something you did that was giving me a very pronounced, easy to recognize sensation of adjustment in my head. It was like right about here. And it just kept, no matter what else was going on or what you were saying, I was aware of you manipulating stuff,
Mhm.
doing stuff. And it was coming in right here and right here. And then after I noticed it, I went back into, you know, participating in whatever. It's like, don't pay attention to that. It's just part of what she's doing. So I went back to what I was doing as a participant. But that was in the back of my mind every now and then. I could still feel it, or I would feel it new, freshly.
Mhm.
And then I would have these periods where I would go off into sort of like quantum leaping, but I'd go off into another place and would start to have all these visual things and sensation, not sensations. Um, I would see places. I
Mhm.
became aware of going to a lot of other places and doing work, doing cleanup. There was one point at which I even saw myself standing with broom and mop and stuff and cleaning up something and kept going back to that. No, you missed a bit.
Mm.
Then go back and then, no, but that part. And then after that, there was a point. It was funny when you were talking about the little balls or globules or whatever. And I became aware of being in a place that had a hole. It was as if I was inside styrofoam balls in a bag. And
Wow, interesting.
they were all styrofoam balls except a few were misshapen. So when you say about the little pointy bits, that reminded me of that
Hmm.
part
Hmm.
where I was made aware that there were it was a cushioning all around me. I was packed for mailing, so to speak, with
Mhm.
all the
Mhm.
styrofoam around me. Um, and there were a couple of imposters in the styrofoam that needed to come out. Nope, before you mail this, take these out.
Mm.
Okay. And then off I went again. So I went to a lot of different places. And at first I was like, well, why are you zipping all over the place? Pay attention, do what you, and, but I said, no, she said you could go and do whatever you need to do. So I stopped paying attention to what you were doing and went back to flitting around and became aware that I was seeing other dimensions and other manifestations of me in other places, and we were working on them too because they had asked. Well, it became clear to me that some of the fragility I'm feeling is because I was asked by some other parts of me to come help with something.
Oh, I love that.
And that blew my mind.
Mm.
So I said, okay, I'll help. And off we went to do that.
So as you're describing this, I'm thinking how much it sounds like what you talked about before, that you have these things to do, but you're not doing them and you're sitting quiet and you're just not ready yet. What a beautiful way to do the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I just talked to a friend recently about dreams that she was having, and that, you know, it could very well be that she is assisting other
Mm.
selves in dream time. And, you know, to recognize that, and, you know, that we're there to help our others just as our others help us when we need it the most.
That is so true. That was such a big part of this, where it was after I agreed to go to these other places and quote help
Hmm.
that I became much after that aware that they had instigated the idea of asking for help to pull me out of what I was in and get me to get the healing I needed outside of where I was so that it could be more effective, and then go back and realize that I had help from a lot of other parts of me.
Isn't it interesting how the
Versions.
universe orchestrates all this, that we get exactly what we need?
Yeah, yeah, it was quite a,
Our
it was
audience is being
amazing.
very, very quiet. I think this was a very personal journey for
Oh
everyone.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, this was amazing. And I saw me fixing so many different things and being
Mhm.
so amazed. And I'll tell you an interesting little aside. After I came out, well, it was just before the 5 minutes or during the 5 minutes you gave us at the end, and I could feel you very distinctly at my feet. I could feel the different places where you were. I remember knowing when you moved from the top of us down, 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 and ended up at the feet. But in that last 5 minutes, um, I was racing to adjust and be ready to come out and everything. And I knew I wasn't quite ready. I wasn't quite out yet, and so forth. And as I hit awareness, I realized the whole time that we were doing this that I had absolutely no pain. And I have had the last 3 weeks have been absolutely horrendous. You know, dealing with a lot of I've got to manage this and manage this. Oh, this is bugging
Mhm.
me. And I found all kinds of little tricks to work with to make it all right for right now. And then if it starts to be like this, well, then you can do this and so forth. So I've been dancing around, adjusting my reaction to the pain. And I thought, well, during the whole thing, I didn't have any at all. I mean, none, no sensation of pain, even the tiniest little bit. And I thought, well, that's great, but I can't sit in meditation 24 hours a day. And it says, no, the purpose was for you. I had questions about creating stuff and creating why, this pain, what am I going to learn from it? How will I adjust it? How much can I adjust it? And I was arguing with some other sources and myself about the extent to which I could change it. You can just change it. You can just take away. And I thought, yeah, but I can't do this part and this part. So, with that in mind, I was told that, well, the purpose was for you to understand how profoundly you could not feel pain, to remind you of what it was like to not feel it, so that you can lock on that. Because I had forgotten. I couldn't create what I couldn't remember.
Mm.
And so the sensation or the lack of painful sensation was really put there for me to grasp and say, okay, this is what you're aiming at. And as you adjust your beliefs and you're looking for the ones that are creating this pain or why you created it, then this is what you're aiming for. Don't forget, this is the goal. Remember what this was like? And I hadn't. I mean, we're talking 52 years of pain on a varying scale that has been accelerating with
Mhm.
age. But this was the reminder. Don't forget, this is what you're aiming for. And as you do your new adjustments, this is what you're going to create.
How's your pain level right now?
Gone.
Gone. Oh God, I love it. I encourage everyone everywhere to seek out a Reiki person, and it
Yes,
doesn't have to be a master. It could be a practitioner. It could be somebody that's learning. You don't need everything, or you can just do this meditation again and again. It is so profoundly healing to
it,
have to be accepting universal love that somebody is giving you with their heart signature on it.
yeah.
And I look at when I'm pulling in the energy of the universe, it's not just me.
I
It's
was just about to say
first
that.
of all, it's all that is. But then after that, it is my teacher, and it was her teacher, and her
There is
teacher
a
before that.
choir behind
It,
you.
it, it absolutely is. That goes
Okay,
all
there
the
was a
way
blues
back
group.
to Mrs. Takata and Dr. Hayashi and Dr. Yasui.
Literally a stadium of other souls who were helping create the energy for you to use
Yeah.
to add to your own. And it was just sending packets
And
of
that's the way Reiki works, which is so amazing. It's always just a one-way flow. There is no receiving. It's all send, send,
it
send.
was coming from all over the place. I mean, quite literally, it was just focused from everywhere and then put in little packets sent to you to here, use this. And you need one of these, you need this too. Well, don't forget this. Here, you can have that.
Yeah.
And it was literally a stadium full of other souls.
And remember, you are wrapped in that golden cocoon, and it
Oh
is
yeah,
full of that energy for you
yeah.
to
I
use
like that.
as you need to in the future, right?
Yeah,
It's
I
always
like it.
going to be there for you.
This was quite amazing. I have
Love
what is it? The rapper say, I got nothing but love for you, baby.
it. See, now you must have put it out there in the universe that you needed Reiki.
Oh, truly, I had. And I was
What?
going to ask you, I was trying to find a way to ask you that, can we do that? Do you mind doing that for me? And I was going to ask you to do that within the next week or so.
Well,
So I'm shocked and surprised
and so
and
it is, and so it
happy.
is, and so it is.
So it is. Um, ah, I'm very, very impressed.
Well, I hope everyone enjoyed that and at least got some relaxation from it.
Well, it was totally different from the other meditations that we call the journey. This was distinctly different.
This was a healing. This,
Yeah, this was really, really, really different.
yeah. Now, when I have someone in person, I don't go through the body relaxation because I'm right there with them.
Right.
And the whole thing probably took about a half hour.
It
Where
helped to do it that way though. That was wonderful.
well, because you have to relax somebody that you're not in the same room with, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and also I will say for the record, there are a ton of things that happened that I'm not talking about. We'll talk about it after.
There
But
you go.
personal things that also happened. There are a lot of things about the journeys I went on, because I went to at least 20 places.
Wow.
Okay, at least. Um, I would say seven of them were more vivid than others. But I kept saying, my goodness, and then we're going here, and then we're going here, and then what is it? How many places can I see? So I was all over the place. But the nature of what each one healed is very personal. So I'm sure that those of you out there who also did this with us will have a lot of things that happen that are just for you to make note of and work with inside. You won't necessarily even tell us about or what have you. You don't need to.
Right.
But there's a lot of personal stuff in there.
And there was a lot of timelessness here.
Yeah,
What took a physical half an hour may have been hours, may have been days
yeah.
on the other side. So,
Eons.
yeah. I mean, they say a snap of the fingers could be 100 years here.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm very, very aware of that exactly.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's literally true.
Yeah.
That's hard to put your mind around, but it's literally
Well,
true.
when you do this kind of work, you get to know that. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
can't help but. And I'll never forget the first time I noticed it. I was doing a Reiki session and I have a healing drum and the drum
Oh,
kept doing like was making noise. And I'm like, well, I'm, in the middle of the session and I didn't ask permission and blah, blah, blah. And the drum just kept it up. So I grabbed it and I started playing it. And I played it for some 15 or 20 minutes. And I'm
wow.
thinking to myself, as a very grounded person that was very young into all of this, I'm like, how am I ever going to get the whole session in? And I looked up the clock, and it was the same time as when I picked up the drum. I had lost or gained, however you want to look at it, 20 minutes of time. And I finished the whole
What?
normal Reiki session. It was amazing.
Wow.
Time literally stopped for what that person needed.
Well, I say to all, not only should you get yourself a Reiki person, but you really might look into taking it and being taught because it's really a different way of addressing the manipulation of energy.
Now, you could, I mean, weird as it may sound, I never finished the class, but if you go on speakingwithkate.com under the Reiki session, I have recorded all of the pieces up to the attunement. Because the
Ah,
attunement has to be personal, but
this is
it
another
is
very
it
interesting.
is
Interesting.
free on the internet for you to at least go through the teachings that I go through for Reiki 1. And then if you want to, you can call me and we can talk about attunements because I those need to be very personal in my
Mm-hmm.
feelings.
Mm-hmm.
That like to do a mass attunement and there are people that do that, but I don't think that's in me. I want to have that personal. And Mickey and I have done this over the internet. So distant is okay, but one-on-one.
Right, right. I will also say that there were things that I was told to do, led to do, that were illustrated to me as spots I needed to adjust that blew me away. I mean, I was given a whole bunch of assignments of stuff to work on. Now, that's the challenge because these were hot spots.
Mhm.
Um, but I was truly challenged. There were several of the different entities or versions of me out in the galaxy who brought me the idea of stuff to work on. And I mean, it was like, and you see that right there? You know, you got to do so and so and so. Now, I didn't want to hear it. I still have a problem with those parts that were brought out, and I know I have to deal with it.
Mhm.
But they were put in motion. They were brought up to me. So it's now on my plate. I can't say I don't know. So I got stuff to do. Um,
And
and they were
know
very,
that you have a wonderful support system.
yes,
Yeah.
but the work, real work, I have to do the work myself. And I'm like, yeah, but I do.
Mhm.
And so I have to find a way to wiggle that in.
Mhm. Yes.
And I can't pretend it's otherwise. It's not all fun and games, folks. It's lovely and you learn stuff. However, it is what it is. There are times when you have to do the stinky stuff.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. It's lovely to vacuum and do dishes and all of that, but there are days when you have to clean the toilet.
Yes. Absolutely.
And there's more of a consequence from ignoring that part than there is from not doing the dishes or the floor. So there's some things that you can't ignore but so long.
Right. Yeah. Oh, well.
Damn it.
Well, we're going to be here in exactly 2 weeks again,
Yes,
right? 2 weeks will be full moon, and
yes.
it will be the 14th of December.
That's my father's birthday. Not
Oh,
my father, my father's birthday, excuse me. My grandmother's the third, but my father's the 14th.
my mother's is the third.
Ah,
Ah, another similarity.
we do this all the time.
Yes, we do. For 4 years, we've been doing this. Surprise!
Our lives are tied by
They
these
are.
minute truths. The way we wrote the scripts, they play in and out of each other.
Yeah.
It's as if you went in the theater and you were watching two different plays that shared circumstances. The mother in this one was the father in this one, and the sister in this one was the brother in that one. And
Yep.
as we sit and examine our circumstances, they are absolutely parallel, even down to the day.
Yeah.
Each day,
Sometimes.
there are things that happen in each day that are mirrors of each other, literally mirrors.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very strange.
It's starting to become normal.
It has become normal. We're not
Yeah.
shocked by it anymore,
No,
but we just kind of go, oh, we've done it again. We
exactly.
just said that last night
We did.
at
I don't remember about what, but we
3
did.
o'clock in the morning for me, 10 o'clock for you. But
Yeah.
we just said that and laughed about it. And here we are.
Right. It
Gosh,
happens
that's
all the time.
amazing. That's amazing.
And what, uh, I'm trying to think of what they called it. It's not a probable self, it's a,
Synchronicity,
no, it's a different
spiritual
word.
synchronicity.
Well,
Now, I said my father's birthday is the 14th, and you said, who is the third?
my
Your,
mother.
your mother. Okay. So,
My, my father's a Capricorn. He's
even
a,
the genders are right. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
My grandmother's birthday on the third. It was the grandmother, not the grandfather. So
Uh,
it, woo!
and now it's driving me crazy that I can't think of that word. It's not a probable self. So it's a self that's another
uh,
person, but
counterpart.
counterparts. That's it. Thank you. That would have drove me crazy. Yes. I think we've come to the conclusion that we're counterparts.
I used to grapple with the two things.
Mm-hmm.
I started to understand they're really the same, almost exactly, but there are little nuances of difference there.
Right. You don't often meet a human that you can talk to every day that's a probable self, but a
Right.
counterpart is very doable.
I have
Yes.
run into counterparts a couple of times. And in one instance, I was walking down the street in New York, and the other person was coming toward me, and we looked at each other, and the shock, I think she felt it too. And we were like, what was that? And we looked at, whoa, it was like I suddenly looked into my own eyes,
Yeah.
and that just shook me. I thought about it all day at work. I mean, all day. It was, whoa, what was that?
Yeah.
And I had just found out about Seth and was just beginning to understand what a probable self or a counterpart was. And I was trying to understand the difference. But counterparts are mind boggling. I've been sitting in a restaurant sometimes and once in a great while, realize suddenly that the people at that table, oh, that person, that's a counterpart. Oh, wow.
Right. Now, is that what when Jane and Rob went dancing in York Beach, is that what they were, counterparts that they saw?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
Because a counterpart is alive and well and you become aware it's a person.
Right.
A probable self is who you would have been in another place or another time. But the counterpart you run into in the now,
Right.
you actually run into them. So at
And
least
those counterparts were much older than them.
right,
Yeah.
right. I've run
Interesting.
into both kinds, older and younger,
Younger.
you
Okay.
know, um, other races, other nationalities, etc. I mean, it's not necessarily like I'm going to see a middle-aged black woman at that time, at that age. No, this was not even a black person, but it's amazing because I've run into it where it's a man
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
of another race or a man of my race or whatever. But it's there are no rules about it has to be you and look like you and that's how you'll know. That's nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm. You just have to
You
be
know.
open.
I've even run into an infant that I realized was me just coming in to this life
Wow.
in a different time frame than the one
Wow.
I'm in. So
That's a big deal. Wow. Hey, I want to tell everybody, talking so much about Seth here, is tomorrow night at 7 o'clock New York time, we will be on Discord doing Seth Talk.
yes,
Yeah, we'll be
yes,
live, and that is not something that is recorded. It will not be rebroadcast. It is very private, but I
yes.
will stick the link in here in
Okay.
Facebook so that you can find it. But we do it the first Sunday of every month.
Uh-huh. And it's 7:30,
7 o-
o'clock,
7 o'clock our time.
7 o'clock,
So
which is
7,
midnight to me. Okay.
yes. 5 hours. You think I would know those by now?
I'm so used to it now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I hope everybody that's in America anyway, had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And this was my little gift to all of you. And I, something, one thing about Reiki is it's not, it is a gift, but I receive as much as I give. See?
Oh, yeah.
And
Okay.
that's, so people know that, I receive the energy first. So it's a win-win for the person giving it as well as the person receiving it. So, I feel on top of the world right now. I love it.
Oh, good.
I love the feeling. Like Reiki will never make you tired. Now, if you're working on somebody and you're standing and you're,
Oh,
leaning or
yeah.
whatever, your body could get tired, but I'm
Right.
just sitting here and, it's just a wonderful feeling.
Mm. Wow. Amazing.
Anyway,
Still
we
no
will
pain.
we will see you all in 2 weeks for the full moon.
Yes.
Okay.
Gosh, I'm out of it.
I
So,
know. I want everybody to make sure that you have plenty of water. You're very grounded. Do not get in a car if you don't feel
uh-uh.
perfectly grounded and in your body.
I couldn't drive right now for anything. I
Hmm.
really couldn't. I couldn't because I'm not here.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
water
very
helps,
not
talking
following.
helps. Watch a little TV, do a little dance. Get down tonight.
What I was thinking in my head.
What? Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. Oh my gosh, we're dating ourselves, people. All right, everybody. I love you all.
Woo.
Bye bye.
Jesus.